impermanence. Even though when we at the dual level, at the Dvaita level, we are suffering with the limitations, and at that limited level, we are continuously bogged with the idea that I was born, that I'm getting older, I'm gonna die, and all the fears, all your attachment with the body, and then at that level, you are continuously haunted. So to come out of this suffering, the only way to come out of the suffering is reach the Advaita state. The limitations of the mind and the ego are the stumbling block in the realization of Advaita. The problem is, at the individual level, we cannot find the connection. Say, for example, there is a leaf on a tree which is just budding out, and at the other end of the tree, there is another leaf that is kind of withering out, has become brown, and is going to fall off. Now, the young budding leaf may not find any connection, but we know at the tree level there is a connection.
Correct.
At the same soil is feeding both. Just the time-wise there is a difference. But how about the leaves from one tree to another tree, totally different? They are connected too at the soil level. So the connection that we have to perceive is flowing within us. And that flow is what we have to perceive.
Very great example.
Right?
Very good example.
So you don't look at the differences which are outside. You go within and your differences will start disappearing. At that level, you say, what am I? You are in a totally area where there is nothing but silence. You disappear. You become neutral. You don't have any opinions. You become neutral about your opinions. You become sex neutral. What is the sex of consciousness? How do you answer that question? The sex of the body, yes. But what is the sex of consciousness, which is a formless state? Now, talking about all these things will be only a talk, but only if you experience, then it will be easy for you to understand, right? So, when you experience, it will be easy for you to agree that yes, that makes sense. But how can you experience without doing meditation? So, meditation is the only way you can experience that state firsthand, that there is a formless state existing, flowing within you, which is independent of your body and your external connections and your connections with other people or with objects outside. All these things are like a tree that is budding out. But inside, at the spiritual level, the roots, what really matters is in that formless state. So you kind of squeeze everything down into a formless state, and everything exists only as a potentialities. That's what we talk about, the potentialities, right? You exist carrying which is the expression of so many potentialities that used to exist. You carrying your eyes from so many different animals that used to have eyes. Your legs are again borrowed from so many animals from way back. And again, whatever you have, you're gonna donate to so many animals or people or some existence gonna come after 2 million years later, you're gonna contribute. You are a part of that whole chain that is going through. So when we realize that, then you start realizing. So you become sex neutral too. You're not a male, you're not a female. You reach to a state of silence. And you reach to the state of, at that level, what you do is you're observing the whole evolution that's passing through you, the whole changes that is happening through you. You're letting it happen. You are an observer. If you realize the observer state is ultimate merging of the male and female consciousness. It's sort of oxymoron to say male and female consciousness. At consciousness, there are no males and no females. But the ultimate union that has to take place, and ultimate barrier to fall off at the spiritual level is your own maleness or femaleness, right? And again, maleness and femaleness, I'm not talking about physical body. The maleness is the male nature, is the aggressiveness, trying to go get it, trying to make a difference in the world. And the femaleness is the passivity, but femaleness also has a bigger heart, has the connection to love everybody, to expand the horizons, go beyond. So love cements all the relation. Love forgets all the differences. No matter what the son will do, the mother will still love the child. Like that. So that males are lacking. Males, as a male, 2 and 2 is always 4. But for the females, because of the bigger heart, they also has a potential to take you to Paramatma, which ultimately connects everybody. So at spiritual level, we're supposed to combine the maleness and the femaleness. So in the state of observership, you have the capacity to make a difference in the world, but you're remaining passive as an observer without interfering with the flow of the dance of life, the flow of the consciousness. You're not making any difference. Whatever difference is being done is by the consciousness itself. So at that time, the ego disappears. And the ego will not disappear until you realize those subtle differences of the maleness and femaleness, that all has to merge and you become an observer. So observership is a final communion, final joining of the male and female forces. So at that time, you bypass all these things and potentially you hold on to just being an observer. At the being an observer level, nothing exists but only the existence. At that point, all the differences, all the potentialities even disappear. The existence is the state of Advaita. And at that level, there is nothing but peace and the bliss. Because you are not agonized by the differences. You are not agonized by the sufferings. Males suffer, females suffer too in this world. Males suffer because of lack of love. Females suffer because of the lack of aggressiveness. Ultimately, the combination of both ultimately will take you to Advaita.
Although we suffer because of the female.
Blame it on them. So much for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.